I'd like to thank you for your indulgence. We were running a few minutes late here. The October 14th, 2025 Liquor Board hearing is now in session. I move to approve the transcripts from the June 24th and the August 12th, 2025 board hearings as the official minutes. All board hearings are transcribed, are now stored electronically, and serve as the official minutes. They can be reviewed online or by appointment with the board's office. I'm looking for a second for the approval.
Second.
Thank you. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So approved. Mr. Hurdle, if you would, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Attorney Abraham Hurdle, counsel for the board. At the beginning of every meeting, counsel makes a few brief announcements. First, the commissioners are part-time public servants and they have outside interests. When they know they have a conflict of interest or the appearance of a conflict of interest, they recuse themselves. They cannot possibly know who will appear from the public in any given matter, which may present a conflict of interest to them. If anybody believes that any commissioner or commissioners, as the case may be, has a conflict of interest in any matter, you have to announce that to us as the case is called, and the commissioner or commissioners will deal with that accordingly. If not, then the commissioners will proceed with all hearings under the assumption that there is no conflict of interest. Secondly, the rules of the board provide that the chair, for the purpose of judicial economy, can have the board's counsel rule on the admissibility of evidence and objections if there are counsel present and objections are made. This board handles many cases at every hearing, and this assignment allows us to expedite the hearings. So rather than the chairman turning to me and me advising the chairman, I'll simply make a ruling, and my ruling will be that of the chair. Finally, for this evening, Commissioner Snopes is not here this evening, so it'll just be Commissioner Sung and Chairman Harris for this hearing.
Okay, Chief, if you would.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome, everyone. Just a reminder to silence your cell phones if you've not already done so yourself. We do have a few announcements. Angel's Share Wine and Spirits, Cheers Liquors, and Pop's Grocery and Liquor have all been postponed.
If there's anybody here who is planning on testifying at any of those three, they will not be heard this evening. So, of course, you're excused and free to leave anytime you want. Okay, go ahead, Chief.
Yeah, and again, it's Angel's Share Wine and Spirits, Cheers Liquors, and Pop's Grocery and Liquor, again, have all been postponed. Our first case is for 177 Liquors R Us, Inc., trading as 177 Liquors. Thank you, sir. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand, please. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Please be seated. Starting from my left, if you could please state your name and address for the record.
Detective James Malcastle, Anne Arundel County Police.
Detective Tom Middleton, Anne Arundel County Police.
Oh, you're not Samuel J. Brown on behalf of the licensees before the board tonight.
Linda Kim, the owner of 177.
Robert Barber, licensee.
Address.
7849 Mansion House Crossing, Pasadena, Maryland.
Thanks.
Heather Doak, I'm the employer of Linda.
Address.
Of my home
Your address.
7793 Outing Avenue, Pasadena, Maryland.
Address, please.
Your address.
Thank you. Mr. Hurdle?
Officers?
Good evening, Chairman and
Mr. Hurdle, this will be an admission with one prior motion just beforehand, because I always make this motion, the board needs to know that it's my belief that you cannot prove that someone under the age of 21 was denied or came into a place unless you have ID and identification for that person. I know it's the board's history and background not to request that ID, and they don't usually have it. They don't have the person here. But I don't think it's a fair situation when ID is not presented and someone is not here to testify actually without a hearsay testimony as to the age of the individual who came into the place, whether or not they were asked to be served, whether they were served, or whether they presented an ID or not. So it is a regular motion that I make. We've never taken it up, so it's never gone on appeal. But I do believe that there should be a requirement even an administrative body, that there be some proof that the person is under the age of 21, except, excluding the testimony from the police officers who were involved here. So that is my representation. I'm assuming the board will deny my request for dismissal based upon that, since they have no testimony from anybody on it. And if that's the case, then I would go forward with an admission and allow the police officer to make his statement on the record.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. As this is an administrative hearing, the rules of evidence are a little different than perhaps in court. Hearsay is admissible. I believe the officers do have a copy of the driver's license typically that indicates the person is under 21. They're happy to present that to you if you need to see it. As such, your motion is denied and or overruled. Thank you.
Good evening, Detective Middleton, Anne Arundel County Police. So I guess maybe we'll start out with that. I brought a certified NBA copy for the proof that our confidential source was 20 years of age at the time of the Operation Safe compliance check.
All right, I'm going to plead ignorance. Where does it show the age?
What's that?
Where does it show the age?
You got page 2.
Apologies, it wasn't on there anywhere it showed his age, so I wanted to plead ignorance and say, okay, where is it, what am I missing? Oh, I'm fine, unless you prefer me to sit. But
March. Yeah. Here it is. March 14th, 2005. I read page 2.
there was a page 2, not on page 1. And according to page 2, this individual was born on March the 14th, 2005. Thanks, boss.
Okay, this incident was May 1st of 2025, approximately 7:40 p.m. Detective Mountcastle and I were working Operation Save, conducting alcohol sales compliance checks at retail businesses. We directed a confidential source, 20 years of age subject, to enter 177 Liquors at 2903 Mountain Road, which is in Pasadena, Anne Arundel County, Maryland. We observed the confidential source enter the business. The CS went to the store, picked out an 18-pack of Budweiser beer, took it to the front counter. The clerk did not ask the CS for identification. The confidential source was given official Anne Arundel County funds, was able to purchase the Budweiser beer from the clerk. The CS immediately exited the business, turned over the alcohol beverages to us outside. Myself and Detective Mountcastle know through our training, knowledge, and experience that Budweiser beer is an alcoholic beverage. We entered the store, identified ourselves as police officers, and identified the clerk as Miss Heather Marie Doak. Ms. Doak was advised of the violation. She was visibly upset and stated, "I know better. I'm the one that's always yelling at the other employees to check for ID." She advised that she has had the alcohol awareness training. The manager on duty was identified as Mr. Steve Kim. Photograph was taken of Ms. Doak, the Anne Arundel County liquor license, which was properly displayed in the business. Budweiser beer was taken a photo and subsequently destroyed. The clerk was cooperative and the store was busy at the time of the sale. And a copy of this report was forwarded to the Anne Arundel County Liquor Board. That'd be a statement of facts.
Mr. Brown, do you have any questions of the detective?
Anything I would have would be in mitigation, so I can hold that to the end if you want to.
Please.
I believe it's a fair statement of facts based upon the information I have from my client. Have you moved in your report?
Have I moved it?
Do you have a copy of his report?
Yes.
We do have a copy of the report.
Okay, you have the pictures attached to also?
We do.
Okay. So my questions to him will be in mitigation, so if you want me to ask him now or later, whatever your preference.
We typically have mitigation after the chair and commissioners have their opportunity.
I have no questions either. Thank you.
Mr. Brown, back to you.
Thank you. Officer, you submitted a report, and in that report you have pictures, is that correct?
Correct.
There's one picture of a woman standing beside beer cases, and she's crying.
Yes, sir.
And that was the individual who sold the alcohol to the person, is that
Yes,
correct?
sir.
Right, did she was visibly upset?
Yes.
And did she appear to be remorseful about what she did?
Yes.
Now, have you been to this store before, sent a confidential source in before in order to try and purchase alcohol from this place?
Yes,
Okay. And the times that they've gone in before, in the past 3 years, there have been no problems, have there?
correct.
Okay. Is this place known in the community as a trouble place where people can get alcoholic beverages under the age?
No, sir.
Okay. Have you received any reports about any major problems at this place, meaning fighting, too much alcohol going on, people sitting in the parking lots loitering and things of that nature?
No, sir.
So outside of this incident and the other incidents in the past that we'll get into in a minute, when they've served alcoholic beverages to minors, this isn't a known place to get alcohol?
Correct.
From minors?
It's not.
Okay. And was everyone there, you found everything in place that night, everybody was cooperative without any problems?
Yes.
Okay. And since this incident, have you been called back or had any problems going back there?
No.
Right. Do you know who came into the liquor store a couple weeks ago and asked them for all the fake IDs that they had confiscated?
I do not. No.
So you're not aware of that?
That was not, no.
Okay. So it was an inspector someone, but you didn't, it wasn't done under your instructions or
No.
anything like that? Okay.
No.
All right. And then I'll let them go. That's all the direct questions I have for the officer.
Do you have any other questions of any other witnesses, Mr. Brown?
I have my witnesses with me, if you don't mind.
Please.
First of all, I'd call Ms. Kim to the stand. Ms. Kim, you're the owner of the place, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And since this event has occurred, have you done any changes to the place in order to make sure that this doesn't happen again?
Yes, we did. We got the machine to check the fake ID. We have signed up we check ID everywhere. And then also, on the computer, the cash register, without putting in birthday, we cannot register or ring up anything.
Chairman, I have some pictures here of what is posted in the store now, the machine that they acquired, and it requires a birth date in order to get into the cash register now. What they do is they check the ID, put the birth date in. The first page shows a picture of the area right there. Unfortunately, when they took the picture of the thing up top here where it says the liquor board does not make exceptions for us, so none will be made for you, is what it says. So you got a byline on that one right there. And you can see what they have here. On the second picture, it shows where the date has to be entered for the birth to get in. The third picture shows the scanning machine. So that has all been put in since then. Do all your employees who serve alcohol, have they all been taking the test so they know
Yes.
what training is? Okay.
Yes, of
Now, the individual this night who served, she's been with you for 3 years now? Okay.
Yes.
And I understand she has 13 years of experience?
Yes.
Okay.
From
and
the
in
other store.
Okay, and I'll ask her in a second, but in the 13 years, it's your understanding, she's never had a violation in a liquor store?
No.
Okay. In fact, she's even worked at, is it the Raven Stadium? She
Yeah.
worked at in the VIP section up there, and she's never had a complaint or a problem, correct?
Yes,
Is she a good employee?
she is.
What have you done in order to make sure she doesn't do this again?
I have her taking another class.
Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't fire her?
No, I couldn't fire her because with everything going on with the economy, I just couldn't have her not having a job. 'Cause she has a kid with sick kids and everything, so I just gave her another chance.
Are you involved in the community at all?
Yes.
What do you do in the community?
We do like charity services and anything like for high school, like elementary, the baseball team. We give them like funds but they bring in all those charity kind of things, and we always help them when they bring in stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, fundraising.
Now, when somebody gives you a fake ID, what do you do with it?
We compensate them.
Okay, I asked you to bring them all tonight, didn't I?
Yes,
And why didn't you bring them?
because a couple of weeks ago, I think it was three weeks ago, the guy came in with the identification of the inspector, said, "Can we take the fake ID?" So we give it to him.
Okay.
All of them.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know who that inspector was, and I don't know if they were turned into you or not. They just said it was an inspector. They had a liquor board ID on the thing. It'd be nice to find out because she says they had over 50 fake IDs that they've confiscated, which shows a diligence on their part, and that's why I wanted to bring that aspect of it out.
But we will get to the bottom of it. We have photos of all of our inspectors. Do you think you could pick that
Well, my
inspector out?
other manager, Sam, he literally talked to them. He showed them the ID, and he said he was tall and kind of pretty well built.
Mr. Chairman, I can clear this up. It was me.
Oh,
They were taken for training purposes.
It's not a complaint. Well, then you appreciate the fact that she said you were pretty well built. I hope you heard that.
I do appreciate that.
Okay, I just wanna make sure. You heard that, okay.
Yeah, they were taken for training purposes, so thank you.
That's it. That was not a complaint, it was just a fact as to why we don't have it.
No, and that's fine, and I understand, but I was also wondering why they were taken, but the chief has answered that, and it was something we discussed a long time ago about there are so many IDs out there that were false and fictitious, and he was going to put on a program, and I didn't even think about it until he had just mentioned it, so that's probably what it was about. But of course, you don't want those licenses back, right, Ms. Kim? No, I didn't think so.
We save them in case you need them, in case you need to go, in case there's any prosecution of someone who's going in different places. As you know, it's my policy to have all my clients confiscate those, confiscate any, and to keep a booklet of anybody they serve who's under the age. And they have been very good about that lately, so.
Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Brown.
Heather,
Yes.
just a little information, just state your name so we know who you are on the record.
Heather Doak.
Okay. And Heather, you heard my comments about you, that you've been serving alcoholic beverages and working in liquor stores and bars for the past 13 years, correct?
Yes.
In 13 years, have you ever had a violation?
I've never been in trouble.
What happened?
It was a really busy night. I don't know if it was like a game or what. For Thursday night, it was unusually busy. And we were just trying to straighten up, stock up, and I made a mistake.
Well, you've had busy nights there before, haven't you?
Yes.
Now, this is a picture of you in the police report.
Yep.
Were you actually crying?
Yep.
Why?
I have 3 children. I have a 16-year-old son. That's at the age where this is where it's going to start. I had a best friend that, when we were younger, at 19, went out and drank. Don't know how they got served, but their life ended. I take it really seriously. I just was busy, and I know that's not an excuse. And I've had my certification since I've been 21. Literally maybe 3 months after I turned 21, and I've done this for years, and I take it really seriously. And I made an honest mistake, and I know that's not an excuse, but I enjoy my job. I like the people, but I do take it really seriously, because it really could cause this could be something serious, and they leave, or I understand the severity of it.
Does the board have any questions of Ms. Kim or Heather, either one?
I do have questions for Ms. Kim, but as far as Ms. Heather Duke, I have none, and I understand, please, and like I say, if you need it, we have it. Ms. Kim,
yes.
your clerk, and I'm sure what she's saying is true, but I'm looking over your management agreement, and there's 5 people on your management agreement?
I told that there's a couple of people, they don't work there anymore. And I tried to get that name removed, but it's never been done. Only the that I have management is Sam, Sang Yun, and Steve Kim. And everybody else is no longer there.
Okay.
Used to work for me, but they all quit or...
Well, what I'd like you to do is get a hold of Michelle in our office, and she'll make sure this gets updated immediately.
Yeah.
But I was concerned because it's dated August 22nd of 2025, and it shows 5 people, all of them with expired.
Because I've been telling them, remove, they're no longer there. It's never been taken care of. It's
Yeah.
just,
The website doesn't let you.
yeah,
With
Let
this
me ask this question. Expired what?
the management agreement.
expired alcohol awareness training
Oh, no, it's all
certificates.
done. No, it's up to
Don's
date.
still on there.
Oh, I know, he passed
Passed
away.
away years ago.
Yeah, I told him the Don's there, he's passed away, it's never been corrected. I don't understand why.
The question is, the issue is, he's saying that some of the people on there had their certifications
Are
expire.
they good?
Yeah, because they're no longer
They
there.
don't work there.
They don't work
Okay,
there,
all
yeah,
right. Okay.
that's why.
So those on there do not work. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, and I was just informed by the executive director that they do have a current one that does show some that are enforced. This one evidently was given to me and was dated August 22nd. Is yours, what's the date on yours, Eddie? Okay, what's the date on the management agreement? Okay. The reason I'm even bringing this up is that I think it is absolutely imperative and important that even if the employee is there and it's a busy night, that a manager who is there has an updated alcohol awareness training certificate. And you say you now have 2 out of the 5 that I have on
Right.
the list. Well, we'll get that updated and fixed and current. And but please feel free to call our office tomorrow or first opportunity, and
I'll call
Michelle
tomorrow.
handles that. My other questions to you is the fact that the Miss Doak was there that evening, and you also had a manager, Steve, is that correct, Steve Kim? Okay. Were you around, Mr. Kim, around the vicinity of the point of sale, the cash register at the time? Okay,
he was doing the stocking.
right. Yeah, I know you have the drive-through. Okay. No further questions.
Mr. Chairman, it's interesting that most of the time you complain that people haven't filed managers' agreements, and now we have one where a lot of them were filed, so.
Yeah. Commissioner, do you have any questions?
Just a quick question. Ms. Kim, you testified earlier that you have a new machine that requires you to put in a date of birth to ring up any sale? Is that for all sales regardless of
Yes,
appearances?
anything
Even
that
if someone
is
looks 80 years
smoke
old?
cigarettes or anything that had to be over 21, we have to put, like soda, we could just bring it up, no problem. But anything that's alcohol related or cigarette, soon as we scan it, it says date, per date of birth, month, date, and the year. Otherwise, we can't bring up anything that is
Okay.
alcohol or cigarettes.
And is that system workable even when it's busy? When
Oh,
you're
yeah,
when you're
of
busy,
course.
you'll be able to sit there
Of
and
course.
put in for each sale the date of birth? Okay. And just out of curiosity, you mentioned that there were 50 or so fake IDs confiscated. How long of a time did it take to collect
Well,
50?
I think 3 years ago, we have given about 50 to a policeman because it was just overflowing. So probably within that 3 years after, we give a policeman and then we kind of saved it. So, and then he took it, so about 3.
3 years.
yeah.
Thank you.
I have no further questions.
I have no additional witnesses at this time. I have 2 other people here, but I'm not sure that they need to testify because they're nothing specific. They have history and background in the store, but I don't know if you need that.
Only if they wish to add something. No? Okay, Mr. Barber, right? No.
But they are all here tonight.
Okay, very good. I am glad to see you take the precautionary measure of a machine, this machine that it scans and you have to put in the date of birth both, and it's going to be used on all sales, I understand? That was the question?
Anything that is over, it requires 21, over 21.
Okay, very good. I am glad to see it. I'm in a little bit of a position here is you have a fairly extensive record over a period of years, of which we're only going to go back 5 years. But during that 5, you've had 2 previous, about anywhere between 3 and 3.5 years ago. This would be the 3rd one if the board decides that you're guilty of it. Normally, what we do in a case like this, and I think your attorney and you agree that what the officer said is factual and true, with the exception of the argument about the confidential source. I'm going to do what I normally do in a case like this where we have 3 charges. I'm going to make a motion for a fine, and that fine is $1,500 per charge, so that's $3,000. Now, on a 3rd charge, I take into consideration the possibility of a suspension. I'm not going to do that in this case, especially because of the machine. And I believe Ms. Doak is sincere when she says she just, forgot and just was too busy. So I'm taking that into consideration. But I am going to make a motion, as in all previous cases, for the 3rd offense within 5 years of two $1,500 fines, a total of $3,000 plus whatever administrative costs. I need a second.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ms. Kim, Ms. Doak, lots of luck in the future. Hopefully this machine will stop you from coming back in, because I can tell you if there's another event within a 5-year
Yes.
period. Okay?
Thank you.
Have a good
We won't meet
evening.
it again like this.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, our next case is going to be for Atlanta Restaurant Partners LLC trade. Thank you. Anyone wishing to testify for? Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand. Hey, oh, you guys are good. Officer Dunkel will have to swear in. Thank you. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Please be seated. Starting from my left, please state your name and address for the record.
Detective James Calvin, Mountcastle, Anne Arundel County Police Department.
Detective Tom Middleton, Anne Arundel County Police Department.
Officer Dunkel, Maryland Transportation Authority Police.
Kevin Templeton, General Manager for Passports Bar and Grill. Address is 1163 Oak Avenue, Shadyside, Maryland.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, staff. For the record, my name is Linda Carter, and I'm here on behalf of Passport Restaurants and Bar.
Hey, my name is Jasmine Hewlett, and my address is 222 East Saratoga Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 21202.
Thank you. And the licensees have been excused for this hearing. Mr. Ertl?
Detectives?
Okay. On 6/5/2025 at approximately 1950 hours, Detective Middleton, Officer Dunkel from Maryland Transportation Authority Police, and I were working Operation SAVE, conducting alcohol sales compliance checks of retail business and restaurants. We directed a confidential source, 20 years of age, to enter Passports Restaurant located at BWI Airport, 7050 Friendship Road, Linthicum, Anne Arundel County, Maryland. We observed the confidential source enter the restaurant. The confidential source went into the restaurant, ordered a Miller Lite beer from the server. The server did not ask the confidential source for identification and served the confidential source a Miller Lite beer. We entered the restaurant and the confidential source exited. We know through our training, knowledge, and experience that the Miller Lite beer is an alcoholic beverage. Detective Middleton and I identified ourselves as police officers and identified the employee as Miss Jasmine Hewlett, date of birth of 1/6/94 via her BWI Airport ID. And she's sitting at the far end of the table. Ms. Hewlett was advised that she has had the alcohol awareness training, and a photograph was taken of Ms. Hewlett and her identification. We advised her of the violation. A photo was taken of the Miller Lite beer. A photo was taken of the Anne Arundel County liquor license, which was probably hanging on the wall. There was not a manager on scene, and no employees on scene were on the manager's agreement. A copy of this report was forwarded to the Anne Arundel County Liquor Board. Ms. Hewlett was polite and very cooperative. The restaurant was extremely busy, and I do have a certified copy from NBA of the date of birth of the confidential source that was used for that check, and that will be the case.
Ms. Carter, any questions?
No questions, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, any questions? Mr. Stein?
No questions.
Ms. Carter?
If I could, by way of proffer, good evening. My clients acknowledge that the underlying incident occurred. No question about it. By way of background, this location opened in 2015, and Mr. Templeton has been working there ever since, with the exception of 16 months where it was closed during COVID. I am pleased to tell this board we believe that there's never been a violation at this location. Atlanta Restaurant Partners operates not only Passport at the airport, but a number of TJI Fridays throughout the state of Maryland. And I've had the pleasure of representing them for many, many years. And I can count on less than 2 fingers the number of violations that we've had statewide. They take service of alcohol very responsibly. Unfortunately, that night, Mr. Templeton was not on the premises. Ms. Hewlett was a shift supervisor, but did not have a manager form on file with the liquor board. We do believe that Mr. Templeton does have one, and that both Mr. Templeton and Ms. Hewlett are in fact alcohol awareness certified. There are 2 other employees at this restaurant and bar. We are in the process of getting them certified, and we will be filing manager forms to make sure that there is always somebody that this board can look to for responsible operation. Ms. Hewlett was let go. The company has adopted an absolute no violation policy. So if somebody fails to card, even if it doesn't, and it's an underage person and he catches it or they catch it, that person will be terminated. Ms. Hewlett was not terminated immediately because they wanted to do an investigation to determine whether or not the incident occurred. And after that internal investigation was completed, she was let go. But I have to tell you, it was done with reservation by Mr. Templeton because she was a very good employee and just had an off night. And Mr. Chairman and members of the board, that would be our case.
Mr. Chairman, any questions?
No, I have no questions.
Mr. Zhang?
I have no questions.
Okay, anything else you want to say, Ms. Carter, before I?
No, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Unlike the last case, this is a first-time offense. And I think the airport, as well as all the venues there at the airport, have been put on notice that they're no different than any other establishment in this county, that we have our SAVE unit as well as our inspectors out there, and they're going to be watching very, very closely, especially since the last time we went through there, you were not the only violation. So just a word to the wise, please inform everybody that they do need to be extremely careful. Because it's a first-time offense, I'm going to make the following motion. In both cases, the minors and the underage of 21, first offense is $500, not the $1,500 you heard previously. That's a total of $1,000 there. But I'm also going to make a motion that we fine you $100 for the alcohol awareness violation and $250 for the ownership and operation. That is $1,350 total plus whatever administrative costs. Looking for a second.
I second the motion.
I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So be it.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much. We
Please be
appreciate the board's
careful.
consideration tonight.
Thank you for coming in.
All right, our next case is for Sheena LLC, trading as Champion Liquors. Thank you, Mr. Lyman. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand. Thank you. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please be seated. Starting from my left, can you state your name and address for the record?
Agent Joel Hawk, Maryland Alcohol, Tobacco, and Cannabis Commission. 1215 East 4th Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 21230.
Thank you.
Good evening, Brian Lyman, Lyman, attorney on behalf of the licensees and the operating entity.
Deepa Bhatt, owner of Champion Liquor, 2103 Basil Hall Lane, Cambridge, Maryland.
Ritesh Rawal, manager Champion Liquors, 1670 Carlisle Drive, Crofton, Maryland.
Thank you. Mr. Hurdle?
Agent Hawk?
Yes, sir. On Tuesday, June 17, 2025, at approximately 11:35 a.m., I responded to Champions Liquor located at 7385 Baltimore Annapolis Boulevard, Glen Burnie, Maryland 21061 for the purpose of a routine inspection of the business. Upon entering the location, I spoke with the owner, Mr. Ratish Ravel. I identified myself as an agent of the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Cannabis Commission. I observed the trader's license 0230933 on the wall and to be valid and properly licensed for the products that he had in the store. I then conducted a systematic inspection of the cigarettes and other tobacco products displayed in the store. Mr. Ravenel produced invoices for the cigarettes, and on inspection, they all appear to have valid Maryland tax stamps. The liquor license 112 type ABWL was also on the wall and valid under the licensee defendant's name, Deepta Pat. I conducted a systematic inspection of the alcohol on the premise. During this inspection, I located 4 boxes of Jack Daniel's whiskey in the storage area with the delivery labels cut out. Mr. Ravenel first had no reason why the labels were cut out, then stated that they were from Ardwick Liquors in Prince George's County. Mr. Ravel stated he was going to order more and give them back to the Ardwick Liquors. I seized the liquor under AB 6-311B1, purchasing, keeping alcohol beverage on a licensed premise, which was purchased from other than a licensed wholesaler, AB 1-408, records violation, and TG 5302, did unlawfully possess, buy, transport, sell, store, or allow another person to buy, store, sell, or transport an alcoholic beverage upon which the tax provided by the law was not been paid. Mr. Ravel signed the compensation receipt, and the seized liquor, 48 bottles of Jack Daniel's whiskey, was submitted to the ATCC evidence room, and this report forwarded to Anne Arundel County Liquor Board for administrative hearing.
Mr. Lyman, any questions?
Thank you. Mr. Hawk, was Mr. Ravel cooperative with you during your visit?
Yes, sir.
Okay. About how long did the visit take in aggregate, if you can recall?
45 minutes to an hour.
Okay. And did you observe any other issues or any other boxes with labels cut off or missing?
No, sir.
Okay. You seized 48 bottles of 750 milliliter Jack Daniels, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the ATCC seized that alcohol in order to enforce a non-payment of tax, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you know how much tax was due on that alcohol had it not been paid?
I was unable to print my complete report, but it should be in that report. It's like,
well, let me just show you my copy of it.
$14.27.
Okay, and so that's the tax that the ATCC is enforcing that ostensibly was not paid to the state, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know approximately the market value of the 48 bottles of alcohol?
It's in that report. Should be a couple $100, I think.
Here, if I just hand you this, would that help you? Is that the wholesale or the
It should be
retail?
on it. That's the retail. We don't get the wholesale price. $12.84.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. It's in the line right next there. Retail value of $1,284.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Have you conducted any other compliance inspections at this location to your recollection?
Yes, sir, I have.
What's that?
Yes, sir.
We were just here last month for a violation in March. Is that the one you're referring to?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are there any other compliance checks that you've done at this location?
Yes, sir.
And have there been any other issues besides the incident that occurred in March?
No.
Okay.
No, sir.
Thank you. I don't have any further questions.
Chairman, any questions?
Yes, how many labels or how many boxes have the labels cut off?
4.
4.
Yes, sir.
And according to the report, if I'm correct, Mr. Ravel first had no reason why the labels were cut off. Then he stated that they were from Ardwick Liquors in PG County, Prince George's County, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have no further questions.
I have no questions.
Thank you, Mr. Hurdle. Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Sung, we're here to admit this violation. The alcohol was not authorized to be in this location, and I'll proceed by way of proffer and basically ask Mr. Ravel to confirm what he's described to me as being correct and truthful. Mr. Ravel indicated to me that he supplied alcohol to a friend of his for an engagement party. The alcohol was supplied and then to be purchased when the amount could be calculated, which was used at the party. His friend came into the store, collected several varieties and brands of alcohol, including several boxes of Jack Daniels in the 700 milliliter size for use at the engagement party. Mr. Ravel can fill you in on the details of the dates of that. Apparently, the friend also obtained alcohol from Ardwick Liquors in Prince George's County, and when the inventory was returned, the inventory was incorrectly returned to this store. So that's how the 4 boxes ended up here. I don't have any information about why the labels or how the labels were cut off of the boxes. I don't know that Mr. Ravel has anything to add to that, but that is the explanation that I was given and asked to proffer to the board for how the 4 boxes that had been purchased with tax paid, presumably at Ardwick Liquors in Prince George's County, were located in this store. Mr. Ravel was here on another mistake that he made, and I would like to highlight for the board that it was actually about 3 months between these inspections as opposed to just 1 month between the hearings. We were just here last month for alcohol bottle that was back in the office, or actually 4 or 5 bottles that were in the office and 2 were on the shelf, if I recall, that were not supposed to be in the store, and that we had guilty violations for those violations. I went to the trouble of asking Agent Hawk for the value of the taxes that were, potentially avoided here to sort of point out the violation in the sense of the injury to the public. And the injury to the public is about $15 in unpaid taxes for these products. That's not to diminish the fact that this is a violation of the Maryland Code and of the Liquor Board's rules and regulations. My client, Ms. Bott, is pretty frustrated at this point. Obviously, we sat here at the hearing a month ago, and she was aware of these allegations and this situation. She doesn't have a lot of other options, Mr. Raval, other than these issues and an underage service violation that also occurred this year. He's been a reliable manager, and it's difficult for her to obtain reliable help. And I'll tell Mr. Raval he's on pretty thin ice with Ms. Bott. He has not been terminated. He's been reprimanded several times, and she's looking for an appropriate, viable solution if there's any other issues with Mr. Raval's performance. Mr. Raval, is there anything else you want to tell the board about the incident and how these 4 boxes of alcohol were located in the store?
Yeah. First of all, I do admit those cases were not mine, from our store. Actually, the engagement was on July 6th. So a friend of mine, who is also a friend of a guy who owns Ardwick Liquors too, but he bought a couple of, he had like 300 guests on July 6th. So he got like 4 cases of Jack Daniels plus some other alcohol too from me. So his brother also bought it, and the one which he didn't use, he gave it back to me. And those boxes were part of it. My mistake was I didn't check the label while I took it back.
Okay. Do you know why the labels were cut off?
I do have my own boxes too, which I gave you the invoice, which I purchased. So we do buy big deal on Jack Daniels. I don't have to buy it from anybody else.
Well, Mr. Raval, you know that it's not allowed for you to purchase from anybody but the distributor, right?
No, we don't. Yeah,
Okay.
You have the invoice.
I have the exhibit. I'll go ahead and offer it. This is what Mr. Raval indicates, shows the 9 cases of Jack Daniels that were in stock at the store that were going to be sold to his friend, but then the wrong boxes were returned. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Mr. Raval?
No, that will be.
How about you, Ms. Bott? Is there anything else?
Mr. Chairman, any questions?
I do. Excuse me. Mrs. Bahat, You evidently trust your employee to keep an eye
Yes.
on your stock and your register and so
Yes.
forth.
Yes, I do.
And I can understand why you don't want to terminate a valuable employee, especially in this day and age and time that we're living in. This is several violations that have occurred in a short period of time.
Yes.
You also had some sale to minors, but that's not relevant to this particular case, as far as I'm concerned. What are you doing in the future that is going to prevent this or something like this from happening again?
We already discussed with him that this kind of things should not happen in this store again. And I make sure that he doesn't do this kind of dealings again.
Do you normally allow your employees to change alcohol or swap alcohol or receive alcohol?
No.
Without your knowledge? I mean,
No.
I'm sure without. Okay.
No.
No further questions.
I think Mr. Lyman had just started asking the question. I don't know if it was answered, but why did you take off the label?
No, they did.
Who did?
My friend. The
Before-
labels were already off when he returned the boxes. Those boxes were not mine.
Okay, so you received the boxes with the labels already cut off.
Yeah.
If the labels were cut off, how did you know they were from?
No, he's a friend, so he didn't even pay for it at that time. He just, I said, we'll do it, and owner knows about that too, because he's a common friend.
I see. So
she knew about that we are supplying to him.
But how did you know that those boxes were originally sold from Ardwick Liquors if the labels weren't on there?
No, his brother got some liquor from the Ardwick Liquors too.
Okay, so you're assuming it's from Ardwick Liquors because it was returned with no labels. And that's the only
Because
other place you bought liquor
we
from.
were the only two suppliers common friends he had.
Okay, and do you know the owner of Ardwick Liquors?
Not directly.
Okay, then how do you know them if it's not directly?
Like, we have a common friend, so we sit together sometimes, but he's not like, we don't get along every day.
Okay. Did it maybe cross your mind to call Ardwick Liquors to let them know that their liquor was delivered to the wrong store?
Yeah, honestly speaking, I shouldn't have, I thought it won't be a big deal. I gave him 4 cases, I took 4 cases back, so I was not aware about this incident to happen. But I did give him my own boxes.
All right, thank you.
No further questions here. Anything else you'd like to say, Mr. Lyman, before we?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Commissioner Sung. That's the licensee's presentation on these violations. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The coincidences are just too much. Timing and what's going on. I've taken everything into consideration, and I'd like to make a motion that we find you guilty of both charges, the restrictions on the purchases and sale by a retailer, and also record keeping. And I'm going to make a motion for a $1,000 fine for each of those charges. And Ms. Fat, I hate to see you pay that.
Okay.
But
I know.
it's up to you how you do that. So the motion is $1,000 in each of the 2 cases. Looking for a second.
I'll second the motion.
I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Lots of luck. Please be careful in the future.
Thank you.
All right, our
Thank
next case is for Cena Incorporated, trading as Grand Ritchie Liquors. It is Ghanshambai Patel, President, Vikund Patel, Secretary Treasurer, Agent Hall number 0037 with the ATCC, Inspector Megan Harlow, This is for a Class A packaged goods BWL with beer and wine tasting Sunday license located at 8149D Ritchie Highway, Pasadena, Maryland 21122. There's one restriction on the license for all individuals working in the register or point of sale must have completed alcohol awareness training. There's two violations. The first one is for violation of Annotated Code of Maryland Alcoholic Beverages and Cannabis Article 6-311, restriction on purchases and sales by retail dealer, in reference to an ATCC Commission report number 25-ATCC-0157 by Agent J. Hawk, incident dated June 12, 2025. And the second violation of Maryland Annotated Code Alcoholic Beverages and Cannabis Article 1-408, titled Record Keeping and Reporting Requirements in reference to an ATCC report number 25-ATCC-0157 by, again, Agent J. Hawk. Incident dated June 12, 2025. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please be seated. Starting from my left, can you please state your name and address for the record?
Agent Joel Hawk, Maryland Alcohol, Tobacco, and Cannabis Commission, 1215 East 4th Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 21230.
Matul Patel, manager, address 4837 Royal Coachman Drive, Elkridge, Maryland, 21075.
Ghanshyam Patel, 2551 River East Trail, Ellicott City, 21075.
Nikunj Patel, treasurer, 101 Denson Drive, Severn 21144.
Thank you. Mr. Ertl?
Agent Hawk. On Thursday, June 12, 2025, at approximately 10:25 a.m., I responded to Glenn Ritchie Liquors located at 8149D Ritchie Highway, Pasadena, Maryland 21122, for the purpose of a routine inspection of the business. Upon entering the location, I spoke with the owner, Mr. Ghanshyam Patel. I identified myself as an agent with the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Cannabis Commission. I observed the trader's license 02309-233 on the wall and to be valid and properly licensed for the products they had for sale in the store. I conducted a systematic inspection of the cigarettes and other tobacco products displayed in the store. Mr. Patel produced invoices for the cigarettes, and on inspection, they all appeared to be valid Maryland's tax stamps. The liquor license 232 Type A BWL was also on the wall and valid under licensee defendant's name, Ghanshyam Patel. I conducted a systematic inspection of the alcohol on the premise. During the inspection, I found a bottle of Morlock Scotch Whiskey, 750 milliliter, in his office. Mr. Patel first stated the bottle was old and that he did not have the invoice for the bottle. I showed Mr. Patel the bottle was dated 2024, and again, Mr. Patel stated he did not have the invoice for the bottle. Mr. Patel then stated it was delivered by mistake from the wholesaler when he was not working. I advised Mr. Patel that he is responsible for the alcohol in his store. Mr. Patel was unable to produce invoices. Mr. Patel was able to produce invoices for all other alcohol checked during the inspection. I seized the liquor under AB 6-311B, purchase keeping an alcoholic beverage on a licensed premises which was purchased from other than a licensed wholesaler. AB 1-408, records violation, and TG 5302, did unlawfully possess, buy, transport, sell, store, or allow another person to buy, store, sell, or transport an alcoholic beverage upon which the tax provided by the law has not been paid. Mr. Patel signed the confiscation receipt, and the seized liquor, one bottle of Morlock Scotch Whiskey, was submitted to ATCC evidence room, and a report was forwarded to Anne Arundel County Liquor Board for administrative hearing.
Chairman, any questions?
No questions.
Commissioner Sutton, any questions?
Do you know what the approximate value, retail value of this bottle is?
I could look it up, sir, but I was unable to print my whole report out. Give me a second, I can tell you.
Do you know if it's like a high end or?
It's a higher end.
Okay.
It's a higher end. It's not allocated, but it's a higher end scotch.
Got it. Thank you.
Gentlemen, do you have any questions of Agent Hawk?
No questions for the agent. So this bottle that came into our shop, it did come in from Republic National Distributing Company.
Breakthrough, sir.
Republic or
No, Breakthrough. Breakthrough.
It just came in as a item that was not properly, it was not invoiced because we never ordered it. It was mistaken for another item that was on the invoice list. Then it was not properly accounted for at the time of intaking the delivery. It was noticed afterwards. We did follow up with our sales rep to notify them that the bottle is incorrect and we did not order this bottle, and they told us that they will proceed to create a pickup slip for the next delivery driver to pick it up, but we never had that slip come in, and it stayed in our office since then. This was around Thanksgiving time, the week before Thanksgiving. So it was a high volume inventory day.
Do you have any other testimony at this time?
No.
Mr. Chairman, any questions?
Yes, one question I have is, how long were you in possession of that bottle? Days, weeks, months?
It was in possession since November 2024.
Up until the day the agent came in?
That's correct.
Okay, no further questions.
Mr. Sung, any questions?
I have no questions.
Mr. Chair?
No, is there anything else you want to say before we make a motion?
That only thing else I can add additionally is that that bottle was never put in our inventory, never put on our shelves. It just sat in the office, secured, waiting to be picked up.
For that length of time?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I have no further questions, and I'm going to go ahead and make a motion. I am going to make a motion that we find you guilty of both those charges, and with a fine of $500 in each one of them. And, you know, I understand, especially since you contacted the wholesaler, but it should have been followed up. And it wasn't, and unfortunately, this is what happens. As you are, I'm sure, aware of now, if not before, you cannot possess any alcohol that's not purchased through a distributor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, my motion is $500 in each of the two cases. Looking for a second.
I second the motion.
I have all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Lots of luck next time. Please be careful.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Agent.
Mr. Kudensky, did you waive reading?
Swear me.
So, okay, thank you. So our next case is for Juicy King Seafood. Anyone wish to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand.
Norman J. Kudensky, attorney for the licensee.
210 Highland Oak, Grand Bernie, Maryland 21060.
And I'm Chief Inspector Dwayne Gottschalk, Arundel County Liquor Board. Mr. Arundel, prior to our statement of facts, I'd like to make a motion that our reports and all attached exhibits we've been provided to the licensee and the licensee's counsel be moved into evidence, become part of the record.
No objection.
Granted.
Thank you.
Essentially, there would be an admission in this case on behalf of the licensee. Discussions I have with regard to mitigation in this case. At the appropriate time, I'll make that mitigation.
Inspectors?
There you go in there. You're
Pardon me?
hot.
Oh, there we go. Sorry.
On Sunday, August 3rd, 2025, at approximately 18:57 hours, I received a call from Chief Gottschalk regarding a complaint at Juicy King Seafood located at 7694 Baltimore Annapolis Boulevard Glen Burnie, Maryland 21060. Chief Gottschalk advised me that he received a complaint about persons in the parking lot who were consuming alcoholic beverages and asked me to respond. At approximately 19:20 hours, I arrived at Juicy King Seafood and observed 4 male subjects standing outside the front of the building with plastic cups containing unknown substances. As I drove past the back parking lot area several times, I counted at least an additional 18 subjects in the parking lot sitting or standing around cars whom were also drinking from similar plastic cups containing unknown substances. Pardon me. Upon arrival, I initially thought there was a cookout happening in the parking lot, but to my surprise, there was a huge plume of marijuana smoke in the air. I know from my training, experience, and knowledge that marijuana is a controlled substance and it is unlawful to consume in public. While observing from the side of the parking lot, I was asked by a waitress if I needed anything. I identified myself as an Anne Arundel County liquor inspector and asked her to get whoever was in charge, and she replied, "If I can find him." It should be noted that at the time of my request, I was also wearing my approved liquor board polo shirt and liquor board ID from a lanyard around my neck. A short time later, I observed a gentleman heading in the establishment's back door, yelling to a group of guys in the parking lot area if they wanted shots, with a response of "hell yeah." A few minutes later, I observed the same male subject return to the parking lot out of a different back door with a tray obtained from the establishment containing plastic shot glasses full of unknown substance. After having waited approximately 15 minutes, I entered through the front door of the establishment and asked the bartender for whoever was in charge to please come speak with me. Approximately 5 minutes later, a gentleman who I believe introduced himself as Jerry, but was Zin Jim Chen, the licensee, came out to speak with me. I explained what I had observed, and he informed me that he was unaware that patrons should not be smoking pot on the licensed premise. I also informed Mr. Chen that they were also drinking what appeared to be alcoholic beverages out front and in the rear parking lot. Mr. Chen replied, stating, "What am I supposed to do about it?" I explained that monitoring the entire area inside as well as outside was his responsibility and could cause his business a serious problem if he continued to allow these types of activities to occur. Mr. Chen again responded, stating, "What am I supposed to do about it since pot is legal and I don't know what goes on in the parking lot?" I again explained that smoking marijuana is illegal in public and the facility does not have outdoor service permit to serve alcohol or allow alcohol beverages to be consumed outside. I also informed Chen that drinking on the parking lot is not allowed, whether it is brought by your patrons or served by the establishment. Mr. Chen's, pardon me. In Mr. Chen's presence, I called Chief Gottschalk and placed him on speakerphone so he could verify that everything I explained to Mr. Chen was factual. Mr. Chen continued to question everything I tried to explain to him over and over, even after hearing from the chief via phone. Mr. Chen seemed completely bewildered and definitely unaware of the rules and regulations of the board. I left the establishment without further incident. I informed Mr. Chen that his regular inspector, Inspector Harmon, would be in touch to follow up with him. All events occurred in Anne Arundel County, Maryland. Inspector Roland Marshall, end of report.
And I have a subsequent report I can read into the record real quick.
I have no questions of the.
Thank you, Mr. Kondensky.
Thank you.
Chief.
Well, on Tuesday, August 5th, 2025, at 1400 hours, Inspector Marshall and I responded to Juicy King Seafood located at 7697 Baltimore Annapolis Boulevard, Glen Burnie, Maryland, 21060, in reference to a follow-up. After consulting with Inspector Marshall and reviewing his statement of facts regarding the incident on August 3rd, 2025, it was determined that a notice of violation was to be issued. We met with licensee Mr. Z.G. Chen, who's present, and explained the reason for our visit. I informed Chen that he was receiving notice of violation for 4 specific violations and explained each one to him. Notice of violation number 1665 was issued and signed for by Chen, and a copy of the notice of violation was left with the licensee. Prior to departing the establishment, Chen asked for suggestions on ways to help mitigate the situation in the future. Inspector Marshall and I suggested multiple items such as placement of signage in the building and parking lot, controlling the rear entry door and additional staff, discontinuing the use of plastic cups with lids, and etc. Chen seemed very receptive to our suggestions and began looking for signage to purchase for his establishment. The licensee was cooperative during our visit, and we left the establishment without further incident. Violation of Anne Arundel County Liquor Board Rule and Regulation 3.02, Cooperation 3.11, Sales and Consumption adjacent to premise, 3.16, License Class, and 4.16, Unauthorized Conduct were noted in Inspector Marshall's report, and all events occurred in Anne Arundel County, Maryland. That's the end of my report and statement of facts.
No questions.
Mr. Chairman, any questions?
Yeah, I do have a few. I'd like to make sure Inspector Marshall and the chief also, the first incident, the first time you met the inspector, you made several references about not understanding the rules or not believing that you were violating the rules or something to that effect. But when you met with the chief and the inspector the second time, I think you agreed that you are now aware of these rules?
Yes.
Okay. So 5 years ago, when this license was given to you, I believe at that time, and it was a normal procedure, that testimony was given that you were aware of the rules and regulations and that you would follow them. Do you remember that?
Yes. So the first thing, I like no liquor, not allowed to out that one. We just.
What you're talking about is way of mitigation. I can give that to the chairman when I get ready.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Kudensky can explain that for you. Okay. But you were made aware of the fact that you had to be familiar with the rules and the regulations and you would follow them. This was when you first got your license,
Yes.
correct? Okay. I have no further questions.
Commissioner Sung, any questions?
I have no questions.
We've got no way of mitigation in the case. I explained to Mr. Chen, although things didn't happen inside the licensed premises, he's still responsible for things that happen outside his premises on his parking lot. And it involves employees, but he cannot let people walk out of the place with alcoholic beverages in the parking lot. And the smoking pot outside is a real problem, but what he's done in the meantime, and I've provided to the board the fact that he put up 9 or 10 signs, and they were posted on the outside, and right before you leave the premises, they say no alcohol, no drugs, no smoking, no weapons. In the meantime, he's also placed 4 or 5 additional security cameras where he can watch if people are leaving on the case. He had a meeting with all his employees to say, don't let anybody walk out. If you see me, get a hold of me. And he's had all his employees' alcohol certified and brought up to date on the case. It happened. I think he tried to do the best he can regarding it. It wasn't inside, it was outside, but it's still his responsibility. And I think he's taking steps to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Thank
Chairman,
you.
any questions?
I do have a couple. There was, first of all, there's no management agreement with any names on it, so is the licensee there?
He's there all the time.
At all times?
Yep.
So you don't go to the bank or leave for any reason?
I think I got one manager right now.
But is the manager registered with the board?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Do we have anybody on that agreement, Mr.? Is that your manager?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Also, you had an incident back in August of '24, a little over a year ago. It was a large crowd outside. Do you remember that? There was a complaint called in?
Yes.
Okay. And you don't have any outside service at all. You know what that is? Do you understand that?
Yes.
But you don't have it. In other words, we haven't given you permission to do anything outside on the parking lot that involves eating or drinking or anything of that nature. So you understand you cannot have anything outside,
Yes.
as Mr. Kudinski had mentioned to you. I have no further questions at this time.
Do you know if the individuals that were drinking and or smoking outside were customers of your establishment?
Didn't get it.
Were they your customer? Were they inside at one point that moved outside, or were they not customers? Were they customers?
Do you know if there were people that were inside that came outside that were your customers? Do you know or you don't know?
Someone I know, someone I really
Some were.
don't.
Okay.
Someone I don't.
So, would it be correct to say that they were drinking inside your establishment, then moved their party outside? Is that accurate?
Like some people is like a lot of people just like going around, hang around outside.
But buying drinks from inside your establishment, your business.
Yeah, some people.
Okay, thank you.
If I may, I want to jump back to a question. Did any of your employees take shots outside to the parking lot to these people outside? I believe you heard testimony from the inspector who said somebody came, asked if anybody wanted shots. Some people answered, and then they came back out with them.
Whether it was employees or the fellow came back out. The customer came out with the shots, didn't he?
The same gentleman that Howard, do you guys want shots, went in
And brought them out.
the door to the restaurant and
Okay,
came back
so
out.
may
of the
not have
kitchen.
been an
Yeah.
employee.
One
Okay.
employee.
Thank you, Mr. Kudinski. I have no further questions at all, Commissioner.
I have no more questions.
Is there anything else, Mr.
Nothing
Kudinski?
further on the outset and mitigation.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure you totally understand that you cannot do anything or allow anything to take place on your parking lot, front, side, or back,
Yes.
with the exception of allowing your customers to park, come and go. You're not allowed to let them take drinks out there. You're not allowed to allow them to consume out there. If they're boisterous and loitering, that's a no-no also, disturbing the neighbors, whatever. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to make a motion that we find you guilty of the 4 charges. What I'm going to do is make a motion that in the cooperation, I'm going to make a motion for a $500 fine, and for the other 3, sales and consumption, the class of license, and the unauthorized conduct, I'm going to make a motion of a $750 fine for those 3. So you have one cooperation for $500 and $750 for the other 3 charges. I'm looking for a second.
Just to clarify, $750 for all 3 combined?
No, I was
Each.
thinking for each one. Yeah, we're talking about pretty large crowd and, everything. But yeah, so 15, that's $2250 plus the $500, $2750 total.
No, I second the motion.
Okay, I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You understand, Mr. Kudinski, what we, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Lots of luck, and please be careful in the future.
All right, our next case is for Eddie's Grill, Inc., trading as the original Gary's Grill. Edward Conway, the 3rd president, Deborah Conway, vice president, Thomas Rafe, Secretary, Chief Inspector Dwayne Gottschalk, Inspector Mark Mucklebauer. This is for a Class H restaurant, beer, wine, and liquor license with music and Sunday license located at 553A Baltimore Annapolis Boulevard, Smyrna Park, Maryland, 21146 with no restrictions. There's a violation for rules and regulations of the Board of License Commissioners for Anne Arundel County, Chapter 4, Section 3.01D, ownership and operation in reference to Board of License Commissioners for Anne Arundel County. Violation notice number 1607 by Inspector Mark Mucklebauer, dated August 20th, 2025. There's a second violation for Liquor Board Rules and Regulations, Chapter 3, Section 3.02A, cooperation in reference to Liquor Board notice of violation number 1607, again by Inspector Mark Mucklebauer, dated August 20th, 2025. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand. And for the record, I've already been sworn in myself. Starting from my left, if you could please state your name and address for the record.
Inspector Mucklebauer, Anne Arundel County Liquor Board.
Edward Conway. 119 Coursey Road, Graceville, Maryland, 21638.
Deborah Conway, 109 Shamrock Road, 107 Chester, Maryland, 21619.
Thank you. You can be seated. For the record, I'm Chief Inspector Dwayne Gottschalk, Anne Arundel County Liquor Board. Mr. Hurdle, prior to our statement of facts, I'd like to make a motion that Inspector Mucklebauer's report and all attached exhibits be moved into evidence and become part of the record.
So admitted.
Mr. Raff passed away 6 months ago. I was unaware of it.
Inspector?
I visited the original Garrett's Grill as an inspector in in October of 2023 for the first time, and I have had difficulties since that visit regarding the management agreement. Since October 2023, I documented 15 instances of neglect relating to the management agreement. The following is a condensed version, shows a systemic problem related to the lack of board-approved managers or the licensee in the establishment during the hours of operation when they can be serving alcohol. After the initial citation was issued on November 7, 2024 for management agreement, I communicated with Eddie Conway and set up a meeting with him at Gary's Grill. We mutually agreed on a meeting on November 25th, 2024 at 10 a.m. When I arrived, he was not there. I phoned him and he said he's stuck in Annapolis to give him 30 minutes. I waited for 2 hours and he never showed up. Then I left. I made attempts to communicate with him after that with no luck. On December 14th, 2024, I entered and found the same problem and issued a written warning. On February 25th, again, no manager from the agreement, no licensee in the establishment. I was informed then that the two people whose name appear on the management agreement were terminated and the agreement was never updated. During an inspection on July 28th, 2025, Mr. Conway was not in the establishment. The management agreement was not updated and a warning was generated in the report. I tried several times to communicate with Eddie Conway without success. His voicemail said his phone is not receiving any phone calls. On Wednesday, August the 20th of 2025, I entered the establishment about 12:30 for a reinspection. No licensee, no board-approved managers, and the management agreement was not updated. I issued a violation number 1607, violating the rules and regulations of the Liquor Board for 3.01 ownership and operation D and 3.02 cooperation A. In the Liquor Board's electronic portal, an inspection was completed by the previous inspector, documenting no licensee or board-approved manager on the site. That was July 24th, 2023. A warning was issued in that report as well. I have a list of the documentations that I have in either the inspection report or supplemental reports and written warnings. October 30th of 2023, August the 6th of 2024, September 26th of 24, September 30th, October 1st, October 14th, November 7th, and November 25th of 2024. February 4th of 25, July 28th of 25, and written warnings were issued December 14th of 23, December 17th of 24, February 4th of 25, July 28th of 25, and August 20th of 25. And there were 2 violations served, November 7th of 24 and August the 20th of 25. The Liquor Board issued summonses for the original Gary's Grill located at 553 B&A Boulevard in Severna Park, Maryland. On September 15th, I arrived in an attempt to locate Eddie Conway. I stopped at Gary's Grill and I spoke with the employees and asked if Eddie lived in Pasadena and learned that he lived on the Eastern Shore. On November 17th at 2025, I arrived at 109 Shamrock Road in Chester, Maryland to see Deborah Conway. She is on the licensee as the vice president of Gary's Grill. I arrived at 10:12. I scrolled through the directory and found Deborah Conway's phone listing, and I left her a message. I gained access into the building via the leasing office. I entered the building and walked to the apartment, and at the exact same time, Deborah Conway telephoned me and asked me what the summonses were for. I read the sections related to the charges, and I asked if she was home. She said no. Although I still knocked on the door just to verify, there was no answer. I asked if Eddie lived with her, and she said no. She declined to provide me with any additional information and said, "I will call you back." I left at 10:57 and traveled to the home of the other licensee, Thomas Rath. He is identified as the treasurer on the liquor license. The address on file was 698 Mills Way in Annapolis, Maryland. Arriving at 11:20, I knocked on the door, and there was no answer. Using real property data search, I found out that Thomas Rath sold that property in November 2025. At 12:10, I re-entered Gary's Grill and asked if Eddie Conway was there, and the answer was no. I asked to speak to Fabian, who identifies as the person in charge in the restaurant, and he could not provide me with any additional contact information. Deborah Conway phoned me back at 12:58. She asked me to explain the charges, and I went into detail explaining that Eddie had terminated the 2 managers that appear on the management agreement and had not replaced them with a board-approved manager. I told her she should have received an email from lqinfo@aacounty.org with the reports. She denied receiving those emails with reports. I asked her if one of these emails was hers, Conway938@aol.com, Eddie@garysgrill.com, and JakeGromer49@yahoo.com. She declined to say if any of those email addresses were hers. She said she's shocked, usually as Eddie's on top of these things. I asked if Eddie lived with her, and again she said no, and she declined to provide where he lived at that time. I asked for his phone number, and she declined again, declined to provide me again. She said that she was out of town for a week, and she's scratching her head with this whole entire thing. I called you twice and then terminated the phone call. Board records indicated Eddie Conway lived at 306 Gold Brush Road in Pasadena. At 2:20 a.m., I attempted to serve at that address, and there was no answer at the door. I left my business card, noting on the back, "I am looking for Edward Conway. Please give me a call," with my phone number listed on it. About 5 o'clock, I received a phone call. The caller identified herself as Allison Conway. She stated that Eddie kept his restaurant life private. She didn't get involved with Gary's Grill. She indicated that he had moved several times since the separation and divorce, and she could not provide me an address of where he was living at the time. She asked if she could pass a message on to Eddie, and I explained the violations, and I said I have to serve him the summonses so he can read them, understand them, and prepare. She stated that Deborah Conway is his mother and that Thomas Rath lived out of state. She did provide me with an updated phone number for Eddie Conway. At 5:20, I called him and I left a message. At 6:11, Eddie Conway phoned me back on September 17th, 2025. I told him I had 3 summonses to deliver to him, and I explained what the charges were and the date of the hearing. He apologized for his lack of action, stating that the divorce really set him back. Attempting to arrange service, he said he couldn't make it to Severno Park. I agreed to meet him at his house, and he provided me with the address of 119 Kersey Road in Graysonville, Maryland. He was cooperative once I finally reached him. He was courteous over the telephone and provided me with what I believe to be accurate information. I notified Chief Gottschalk, and he agreed to meet me at the location at September the 18th at 10 a.m. Arriving at the house of Mr. Conway, we knocked on the door. There was no answer. At 10:01 and 10:11, I phoned him and left a message stating we were outside waiting for him. With no activity from the house, at 10:16, we were about to depart when my phone rang and I saw Mr. Conway coming across the driveway. I recognized Eddie Conway from previous encounters with him at Gary's Grill, and I served him the summonses at 10:18. I explained that the three individuals on the licensee must attend the October 14th hearing. I also advised him that he should make every effort to be proactive, updating his management agreement when the required information before October 14th. I also advised him that if the licensees did not attend, another cooperation charge could be added to the hearing and the hearing could be moved to another month. At this time, he seemed cooperative and willing to be proactive with the board and myself. As you heard, I've had great difficulties with Gary's Grill related to the management agreement, causing me to issue numerous warnings and citations. Before September 17th, the last time I recall talking with Eddie Conway, he told me he would see me in 30 minutes. End of report.
I do not. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
No.
I honestly, I didn't receive a lot of the reports because I just took a step back with all the stress of other stuff. Not gonna lie about it. So.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. Yeah, well, I understand. All right.
I'm sorry.
Okay, understood. Thank you. I have no further questions at this time.
I have no questions.
Do you have anything to offer in mitigation?
I should have been better. I just, the divorce kind of crushed me. And just from a financial standpoint. So I kind of shut down. And Fabian is my brother, essentially. But he couldn't get a hold of me. So it's on me.
Okay. Are you presently active in the day-to-day operation?
I'm going to be again soon. I have to be for other reasons.
Okay, I have no further, is there anything else you'd like to say or like to tell us, or?
I'm gonna make sure everything's taken care of. I've owned that restaurant for 17 years, and you guys have never had an issue with me when it comes to that stuff. So it is shut down, and I should have been better. But at the same token, I hope that the effort that I've put in for so long is worth something.
Okay. Mr. Conway, I am familiar with the establishment with you over the years, and I found this pretty surprising from when I just heard the report. And I understand, your personal life does play. No matter how hard we try not to intermingle them, it happens. But nevertheless, the board and its representatives, in this case, the inspector, deputy chief, and all, or chief, I'm going to make a motion, and I'm going to make a motion that we find you guilty of both of these charges, because obviously from the report and everything, but at the same time, it was a year ago in October, you were found guilty of operation, and it was a fine of $100, I think, at that time. You weren't aware of that?
I was not. No.
All right, is that correct?
Oh, no, that's when I
So
came in and paid that fine.
basically the same thing
Sorry.
reoccurred a year later. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a motion, and it's going to be threefold. But I'm also going to preface that with, and I understand the personal matters, and you do what you have to do, but at the same time, you need to take control of an operation that sells alcohol. It's extremely important. My motion is that we find you guilty of both charges with a $500 fine in each case. That's $1,000 total plus cost. Plus, I'm also going to put a restriction on your license because you don't have any on there. That's going to say all individuals working point of sale must be Maryland Alcohol Awareness certified. The reason I'm putting that on there is that when you're not there, and it's evidently been quite a bit lately, there must be somebody there who is alcohol awareness trained. Your managers must also be alcohol awareness trained, but anybody that brings a register needs to be certified. And do you understand that? Okay, and that's effective immediately.
Yeah,
So,
my brain goes to how much that's going to cost. It's not
okay.
So, sorry.
If you need to call us or call the board tomorrow, I'm sure they'll remind you of everything I'm saying tonight. And
Oh, they won't have to.
okay. Well, I just want you to understand that. Anyway, the motion is $500 in both cases with the restriction of all individuals working point of sale must be Maryland Alcohol Awareness certified. Looking for a second.
No, I second the motion.
I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Lots of luck, Mr. Conway, in the future with everything.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. We have a request for a 10-minute recess, so we'll resume in 10 minutes. All right? Anyway, we're back in session. You want to call the next case, Chief, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first case of the night is going to be for Severn Liquors LLC. Thank you. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Please be seated and state your name and address for the record. If you could turn your microphone on, please.
Yeah. Srinivas Samanapalli. Address is 2499 Vineyard Springs Way, Ellicott City, Maryland 21043.
Thank you. Mr. Hurdle?
Thank you. Good evening again, Mr. Chairman, members of the board and staff. I promised my fellow attorneys in the audience this would probably be the fastest case tonight. We were recently before you. He was approved as a licensee. We're now requesting that tasting be added as a privilege to the license. And I would submit.
Chairman, any questions?
No questions.
No questions from me.
Maybe the shortest case ever.
Oh, trust me, it is. Ever since I've been involved in the liquor board. But anyway, okay, thank you. Being that we don't have any questions, and because it is an upgrade to add beer, wine, and liquor tasting, you know, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't. So I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we grant the request to upgrade.
I second the motion.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So be it. Thank you
Thank
very
you
much,
so
Ms.
much.
Carter.
Thank you so much.
Now, I defy any of you to beat that.
All right, the next case is going to be for GNS Mountain Road LLC, trading as Green Valley Marketplace Mountain. Richard Rogers, Vice President, Benjamin Green, CEO, Inspector Jim Kiriazoglu. There's one restriction on the license for a manager must be on duty at all times. This is for an upgrade to add BWL tasting permit. Currently, Richard Rogers, Vice President, Benjamin Green, CEO, on behalf of GNS Mountain Road LLC, trading as Green Valley Marketplace Mountain, located 4681 Mountain Road, Pasadena, Maryland 21122. This is for a Class A packaged goods beer, wine, and liquor with Sunday license. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand. Thanks. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You can please be seated and state your name and address for the record.
Who you want? Okay. Richard Rogers, 7116 Layton Court, Elk Ridge, Maryland, 21075.
Thank you. Mr. Erdl?
Sir, I turn it over to you as to why you need to upgrade your license for a BWL tasting permit.
Recently opened up the store, probably in March, I think it was. And, when we first went in, we, just listened to the customers, and we've had tremendous amount of customers saying, hey, Fish Paul's does this, the other place down the street does it. They do a great job. You have the food pairings, the seafood department, crabs and all that. You bring in a lot of the new items. They're expensive. We'd like a chance to taste them. We have 20 employees that are trained in food safety. We have 10 on the management agreement, and we have 10 more to put on. We've had a lot of questions from our vendor partners saying that there's a lot of different local things like Scotty's and Oyster Bay that want to do demos. Matter of fact, we're doing an oyster shucking thing this weekend, and one of the wine people came to us and said, hey, we have a great pairing for that. And I said, well, hopefully I'll make out good on Tuesday, and we can accommodate that. So we just think it's the right thing to do for our customers. We're responsible about it. We're going to be controlled. We're going to use all the same controls that we have in place to sell liquor. We're going to be adherent to the ounces that are required. You can't go over X for the actual serving, and you can't exceed a certain amount. I believe it's 3 ounces, 1.5 ounces, and 9 ounces on the beer, the wine, and the liquor. We have a great group of people in the store. We have a great selection, and we just think this is going to be something that the customers want. They have really accepted us. We've adopted all the Angels employees. We're doing all the Angel salad. We've been very successful, and we think this is the next step.
Chairman, any questions?
No questions at this time.
Commissioner Sung, any questions?
No questions.
You do have quite a few people on your management agreement, sir, and I'm glad to see that. And of course, all of those are alcohol awareness trained.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the beer, wine, and liquor tasting has to be supervised and controlled, and I'm assuming that you're aware of that.
Yes, sir.
What I'm going to do is, I was looking over everything while you were talking, and I'm going to make a motion that we do allow this and move forward with the upgrade to add beer, wine, and liquor tasting. But I'm going to change something. You have a restriction that went back in 2005 with that license, and it simply says a manager must be on duty at all times. And it's the law now. Either a licensee or a manager who is alcohol awareness trained and certified and on the management agreement must be in the store at all times you're open. So I'm going to remove that restriction, or make a motion to remove that restriction, but I'm going to add another one to it, which simply says all individuals working the point of sales must be alcohol awareness trained.
Okay,
And,
I can appreciate that.
That's anybody handling the register of which alcohol moves through.
Okay. And we do have the same restriction. You cannot ring the product through. Anytime an alcohol item comes up, you cannot ring it through, and it alerts that they have, we can't have anybody on the register that's under 21, which we don't, and it doesn't go through until it's accepted. So we're carding everyone probably to a point where there's people saying, are you kidding me? And I'm like, no, that's our responsibility. And when I give a little bit of flexibility, then it goes the other way. So we card everyone, whether you're 21 or 101.
I was the inspector who was involved in the incident that occurred at that location many, many years ago, where we had 2 14-year-olds behind the register and sold alcohol to us. So that's how that became. But anyway, so I am going to go ahead and make a motion. The motion is that we do go ahead and grant the upgrade with the removing of the restriction that was dated 12/13/2005, saying managers must be on duty at all times because it's now the law, and adding all individuals at point of sale must be alcohol awareness trained. Looking for a second.
I second the motion.
I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations, sir. Please
Thank you.
be careful.
All right, the next case is for J. Shumarnan, Inc., trading as Docks F&B Liquors. Thank you. Anyone-
And for the record, I'll be recusing myself due to a conflict on this matter.
Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand. Thank you. You solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury, the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Please be seated. Please state your name and address for the record, starting from my left.
Yash Patel, 412 Hillview Drive, apartment 303, Linthicum, Maryland.
Laura Bates, 1113 Flowering Tree Court, Gambrills, Maryland, 21054.
And good evening, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Hurdle. Brian Lyman, Lyman, on behalf of the applicants for transfer.
Thank you. Mr. Hurdle.
Mr. Lyman.
Thank you, Mr. Hurdle. And Mr. Chairman, we're here to present a transfer license for a Class A license. The applicants have submitted their complete packages. I did just recently formally request two sort of substitutions or amendments. One was that we add Sunday privileges to the license. I don't know that how it happened that it got out of my office. I don't want to throw my associate under the bus because I'm supposed to review this as well. But Katie, I'm happy to report, just had her baby, and so she is not around to hear from me about this. But nevertheless, we need to request Sunday privileges. Along with the Sunday privileges, the signage on the outside of the shopping center reads Docks Liquors. I believe that the current license is listed as Docks F&B Liquors, and we have a name that's very difficult for me to pronounce for our corporate name, J. Swami. You want to say it, Mr. Patel?
Jai Swaminarayan.
All right, and I understand that that is a deity for a Hindu practitioner. So it's an homage corporate name. Nevertheless, we're requesting that we change the trade name to just be Docks Liquors as opposed to Dock F&B Liquors, so that if the transfer is successful, we don't have to change the name on the exterior of their premises. Yash Patel is experienced in retail sales and retail establishment. This is his first experience being in the liquor industry and business. I've explained to him the duties and obligations of the board's rules and regulations, as well as the alcoholic beverages and cannabis article. And I've described that also to Laura Bates, who's the resident qualifier. These I would urge the board to consider as fit and proper persons. Mr. Patel has retail experience in working in a Dunkin' Donuts for a family member, and as of late, he is the main proprietor for two Bubba Coos Burritos franchises, one located in Millersville and the other is located in Pasadena. I was just asking him about operations and sales, and he says they're pretty good. He is going to enlist a manager to operate this liquor store. That is his plan. He's actually married to a licensee here in the county for Harbor Liquors, and so he's familiar with the alcohol business and operation. He has family members who are in the alcohol business and understands the duties and obligations. I would urge the board to consider him a fit and proper applicant. I believe that the appropriate advertisement has been published, notwithstanding our issue with the application not having Sunday privileges. I believe that the advertisement was correct. Thank you, Janet Gagnon, for that. Okay. Thank you. Then I'll correct the record also that Katie did correct the oversight before I got to it.
The poor woman is home with a brand new baby, and here you are bashing her.
Duly acknowledged. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I believe all of the information that's been submitted is true and correct. I'd ask the applicants to affirm that there are no changes to the application other than I have indicated. And I would ask the board to consider an approval of the transfer of this license. We anticipate no changes to the operation or hours of operation for the establishment. Any questions?
Would you repeat the name again? I just want to make sure. No, not that
Jay
one. No, not
Swami
that. No, I won't do that.
Rai Yaran.
No. Is it going to be called Docs F&B?
It's going to be called Doc's Liquors. That's the proposed change.
And we have-
DOC''S Liquors.
Okay. All right. That's fine. And your wife, I understand, is a licensee at Harbor? Yes. And you understand that if you in fact, this transfer is granted, that you two shall not meet in the liquor establishments as far as any work? She cannot work in yours, you cannot work over there, you cannot manage, you cannot stock. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
Am I correct in that, Mr. Lyman, that he is aware of that?
He is aware of that, and that is also correct. That, but they should generally not appear in each other's premises. That's the best policy.
And I can tell you from experience, there have been some that have done it and some that have been caught at it, just inspectors walking in or whatever. So please just be duly warned about that. I don't see anything in here that I would object to in making a motion, with the exception of the restriction. There was a restriction put on back in 2003, Mr. Lyman, says all employees must be certified within, I think it's 30 days of hire, and a state-approved alcohol awareness training. I'm going to change that like I have in all the other ones that I've mentioned, and I'm going to delete that or remove that restriction and add one that says all individuals working the point of sale must be alcohol awareness certified. That's any employee, including yourself, any individual. So please make sure that anybody who's behind that cash register is alcohol awareness trained. And these inspectors are asking for, certifications and certificates and so forth. All right, I'll make a motion that we accept the transfer based on that premise. I guess I'm it. So I'm
Would you like me to second it? I don't think that counts, though.
Okay, I got this, Brian. I make the motion, I second the motion, and I vote. Aye. All in favor?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I
Deal.
appreciate your diligence and admonition and warning.
Okay, thank you. Lots of luck, sir. Please be careful. You might want to tell your wife what I said, too.
Our next case is for Amigos, Inc., trading as La Tolteca. Thank you, sir. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand.
Mr. Kudinski's back.
Thank you. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Please be seated. Starting from my left, can you please state your name and address for the record?
My name is Salvador Martinez. Address is 8096 Fastwell Road, Millersville, Maryland, 21108.
My name is Alfonso Martinez, and my address is 616 Yarmouth Line, Bel Air, Maryland, 21314. Thank you.
Herman Puckett, 8096 Foxwell Road, Millersville, Maryland, 21108.
And for the record, Melvin J. Kadansky, representing. All deference to Ms. Carter, I don't know that this could be any simpler either. Back in 2018, this board granted the license to La Tolteca Amigos, Inc., which are the same people you see here. Somewhere in between their accountant, and I don't want to throw them under the bus, but I will, because they did it. They changed to Amigos, Inc., and all the same parties, all the same owners and so forth, and they set up Amigos, Inc., and got a trader's license, sales tax license, licenses, and they've been operating. But in all essence, from 2018 to now, this, what you see here is what's been there. And as far as their being qualified and so forth, they haven't had any problems there, and they asked the board to approve the transfer.
Mr. Chairman, any questions?
No questions.
No questions from me.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Nothing further.
Okay, thank you, sir. You might just, no, not quite. I'm going to make a motion that we do accept the transfer, and I'm also going to add the same restriction that you've heard me add recently, which eventually will become rules and regulations for everybody. And that restriction will be that all individuals working at point of sale, meaning behind the register or taking money or whatever, they must be alcohol awareness trained, all of them.
We have everybody.
Effective immediately. Okay, that's a motion. Looking for a second.
Second.
Have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So be it. You're
Thank you.
granted.
Thanks very
Have a
much.
good day. Lots of luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, our next case is for R&V Liquor LLC. Thank you. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please be seated. From starting from my left, can you please state your name and address for the record?
Carl Gunther, 12416 Stonehaven Lane, Bowie, Maryland.
Shravan Reddy Chinchot, 23695 Upper Heartland, Aldie, Virginia, 20105.
Thank you, Ms. Erdl.
Ms. Carter?
Thank you. Good evening again for the last time this evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board and staff. It's actually my pleasure to be before you in connection with R&V Liquors because I have known the gentleman next to me, who I refer to as Sean, for almost 20 years, maybe a little more, a little bit less. I first met Sean when he operated a beer and wine store in Prince George's County at the intersection of 197 and Racetrack Road. And I had gone in, it was a convenience store, and I had gone in there one morning to get a cup of coffee, and this was before he owned it, and I immediately walked out. It didn't have a good vibe. 4 or 5 years later, Sean came to me because he had purchased it, and he had an unrelated issue, and I went back in, and I was amazed at the transition. He had taken a dump and turned it into a very successful, community-friendly beer and wine store. Well, subsequently, that beer and wine store was sold, and it was transferred to the shopping center in Bowie, where Harris Teeter sits, and there is a place next to it called Crescent Wine and Spirits. Sean is a minority owner in that license. That, however, is a B+ license. It is not an A license. It is not a D license. He's a 1% owner. He is not a licensee. I did that all by way of background, and that having been said, I would submit to the board that we have filed an application with this board, that everything in the application remains true and correct today, that there have been no changes. Both of the gentlemen sitting next to me are very experienced in the liquor industry. The gentleman on the far left has actually worked at Crescent for, 15 or 16 years now?
5.
I'm sorry?
5 years.
5 years. I apologize.
Been in
Always
the
check when
grocery
I'm not
business.
sure. And Crescent has not had any sale to minor violations in that time. It did have one violation very early on. It had to do with a failure to timely effectuate the transfer of the license. And there was one sale to minor, like
Once when we moved.
like 8 years ago. 8 years ago.
2019.
Yeah. Yep. And other than that, he has an absolutely impeccably clean record. He's one of the hardest working people I know. He's really looking forward to having a store in his own name. He will continue to work hard, and he will run a store that I used to shop at R&V all the time because it was on my way to my mom's, and that's where I would get her gin and wine. He will continue the community community traditions that have been set by that store. As the board knows, once upon a long time ago, that was the only liquor store in Crofton. The same is not true anymore, yet it's still a really nice store. Mr. Chairman, I would suggest to the board that they are both familiar with the rules and regulations. They are both alcohol rank certified. I know you're going to require that all POS operators be certified. Sean has no problem with that because he believes that training is the key to successfully complying with your rules and then the laws of the state. And on that, Mr. Chairman, we would respectfully request the transfer be approved.
Okay, well, you and I agree on that. So you have no financial interest with the exception of the 1%?
Yep.
And that is with where?
It's in
PG
Prince
County?
George's
Oh,
County.
okay. All right. No, I'm good. Okay, I'm going to make a motion that we go ahead and accept the transfer and the upgrade to beer, wine, and liquor tasting. But I'm going to add the restriction that says all individuals working the point of sale must be Maryland State alcohol awareness trained, and that's effective immediately or so. I'm looking for a second.
I second the motion.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a
Congratulations.
pleasant evening.
I'm sorry, Commissioner. Did you have any questions?
I have no questions. No, I have no questions. No.
Okay,
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
good
you
night.
all. Have a good one.
Right.
And I hope to get out of here quickly.
Our next case is for CP Baltimore LLC, trading as Town Place Suites. Thank you, sir. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please be seated. Starting from my left, can you please state your name and address for the record?
My name is Brian Siskin. I'm counsel, 102 West Pennsylvania. Thank you, Council Maryland. My name is Wayne Burden. I'm the general manager at Town Place Suites BWI. My address is 10703 Winfield Court, Glendale, Maryland, 20769.
Thank you. Mr. Hurdle?
Sir, turn it over to you.
Thank you. So we are here for a transfer today, and I'll proceed by proffer. And there's some good news and some bad news. The good news is I'm here with General Manager Wayne Burden. The bad news is that the applicants, due to a scheduling some sort of confusion, are not able to make it this evening. So I'm hopeful to proceed. So I'll proffer where we are, and thank you very much. Those applicants are Mark Laporte and Julie Richter. They each hold a 1% interest in CP Baltimore LLC.
And if I may interrupt just for a second.
Yes.
I was informed that the liquor board was informed of this, and we are duly notified, so there's no problem. We authorize that, so please proceed.
Thank you very much. Mr. Wayne Burden is the general manager. He is responsible for the day-to-day operations. The more good news is that with this transfer, there's no operational change. It's just the change from the license was held by the property owner and now to be held by the manager. So that's the reason for it. The applicants of the general manager have no felony convictions, no gambling convictions, violations, or alcoholic beverage law violations. As to the premises, alcohol is only served out of the pantry area, and so they don't have a full bar, full service restaurant. The hours of operation they close at 2 a.m. and open at 6 a.m. So they just close for the hours that they're required to close. There are about 25 employees at the hotel. 6 of those work with around the alcohol, and all 6 of those are TIPS trained certified. They do not accept any vertical IDs. The carding policy is that everyone who buys alcohol gets carded. So I would open it up to any questions that you may have for me or the general manager.
Chairman, any questions?
At your point of sale, is there any kind of a machine or anything that checks ID, or is this all visual and?
All visual.
Okay. And I'm assuming the amount of sales is minimal?
Minimal.
And I mean, of course, my opinion of minimal and yours.
Year
might
to
not.
date, $8,480. Year to date.
Year to date?
Okay.
It's just a pantry.
Minimal. Okay, no, that does answer the question, and the restriction that you have on there since 2008 is that no bar, and all employees must be certified in an approved alcohol awareness program. I'm gonna just change that a little bit. It's gonna be still no bar, but all individuals working the point of sale must be Maryland State Alcohol Awareness Training, which you've heard me pretty much tell everybody in the last 7 or 8 cases. I don't have any questions. Commissioner, do you have any questions?
I have no questions.
Okay, with that, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we approve this with the change in the restriction, and looking for a second.
I second.
I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations, sir, and thank you, and please have a good day. You too.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the consideration. Thank you.
Not a problem.
All right, our final case of the night is for PCF Inc., trading as Magathy Inn. Paul Pesch, Vice President. Thank you, sir. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand.
Mr. Bittner, could you and your client scooch down either to the
If
left
you don't
or to the
mind.
right?
Yeah. You can have a seat, or stand up behind there until you're sworn in.
So please remain standing and raise your right hand if you will be testifying. Thank you.
Step closer to this, we can hear you at the microphone. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Please be seated. Starting from my left, Mr. Pesch, if you could state your name and address for the record.
It's Paul William Pace. It's 546 Center Street, Pasadena, Maryland.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Richard Bittner on behalf of the licensee.
Sir.
I am Todd Taylor.
Address for the record,
I'm sorry,
please.
550 Center Street.
Thank you.
Catherine Dewitt Taylor, 550 Center Street. Regina Miller, 542 Center Street.
Good evening, I'm Tyler Jones, 511 Riverside Drive.
Thank you. Mr. Ertl?
Thank you. Before we get started, I believe there's an outstanding motion to postpone, which I think has been modified to a motion for recess or continuance. Is that correct, Mr. Taylor?
Yes, that is correct.
Did you want to make that motion now?
Sure, that would be great. We would like to make a motion for recess so that members of our community can meet with the board and also, ideally, the licensee. What we would like to do is we would like to basically work collaboratively on constructing some sort of MOU that we can put in place.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that term, MOU.
Memorandum of Understanding.
Thank you.
Just so that we can have something that would address all parties' concerns. Now, I know that Mr. Harris was interested last year in the violation hearing that was held for the outdoor seating area, and finding a solution that works for both the licensee and the community. And I believe that an MOU that involves the community's input would be the best way to achieve some sort of fair balance.
Chairman?
Was there an attempt to do this prior to tonight's hearing?
My understanding is the parties did communicate with the board and back and forth to address this issue, and there was no agreement to postpone or recess or continue the case.
So I guess the question is, are we going to be able to, I mean, I'd love to be able to see this worked out to where it would benefit the community and the business owner.
We all would.
And I'm hoping that's the case with everybody sitting at that table. I can speak freely by saying I think it's everybody's here. We'd like to see some kind of an agreement and an understanding. And I don't mind, well, Commissioner, you have any opinions or any suggestions?
I mean, my only thought is that, an MOU is not legally binding. So I would hate for there to be an MOU and kind of delay the inevitable and be right back here again. I don't know if that'll, I hope it does, but just my slight concern. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm sorry, and maybe I'm making an unsupported comparison, but my understanding is that the Baltimore Liquor Board routinely works out MOUs, and then they are appended to the license as a restriction. So are you saying that even if we worked out an MOU and it was appended to the license as a restriction, are you saying it would still not be enforceable?
Yeah, I'm not aware of MOUs being binding. I think they're two separate things, right? A restriction on the license versus an MOU. An MOU is, as far as I know, is sort of an understanding between the parties.
Sure. In Baltimore, they literally append it to the license.
Okay.
And they sit there and tell you in the hearing, they say, you will work out an MOU, and then that MOU will represent a binding agreement, and if you violate it, you are violating your license. And they do this. In fact, it seems to be their go-to response.
Okay, so is that something that we can do to add that as a restriction?
If the parties agree to an MOU amounting to a restriction on the license, that's something that can be added as a restriction to the license, but the parties would have to be in consent, both sides, in that situation.
I think the first thing we have to do is agree to meet. And
I believe there was no agreement to meet. Is that correct, Mr. Bittner?
Well, there was no agreement to meet before we came in today. My client offered to go to mediation. That's how it was presented. He's still willing to do that. But we believe that the mediation needs to be an appropriate mediation under what I understand. There's some rules, court rules that deal with mediation. And what we had proposed was that a retired judge or an attorney mediator experienced in this area of the law serve as the independent mediator, that the parties agree, as is my understanding is the custom, at least the circuit court rule, to undergo 2 hours of mediation. They each share the cost of that mediation. Mediators are available, retired judges and trained mediators. I just did one a couple weeks ago, $200 an hour. So each side would pay $200. As is my experience in mediation, the court doesn't participate in the mediation, so I would suggest that the board would not participate in the mediation. Mediation is off the record. It's not recorded. Nothing that's said in mediation can be repeated outside of mediation. If the parties can broach an agreement and present it to the board, we're happy to do that. As the board well and good knows, my client's family has had this establishment since 1947. No sustained violations during that entire time.
If I may, Mr. Bittner, may I just have a moment?
I'm sorry, my clients have had it since '88. I said 47. It's been there in the community since 47. They've been the licensee since '88.
Thank you for correcting that.
what was suggested by... Thank you. What was suggested by our attorney was that we give all of you 5 minutes to see if it's even something that you could work out. And if so, then the board will consider a postponement based on that. Do you want to take 5 minutes or 10 minutes at the longest and see if you can come up with some kind of an agreement? And
An agreement to mediate.
Well,
about the arrangements for the mediation. Is that what you're
yeah,
proposing?
right. There was an offer and there was a fee and, you know, the splitting or whatever the case. But if both sides can agree to do that, then we'll issue, or I think we would consider and probably grant a postponement based on that.
I'm sorry, I have a question. So what we actually proposed is that Anne Arundel County has a conflict resolution center, and they provide mediators, and they're either free or low cost. And when I called up and spoke to them, it looks like a more, well, it's a slightly different take from what Mr. Bittner described. And so I guess my question is, Mr. Bittner has just essentially stated that the mediation must be, or the mediation is, and he described it would be a retired judge. And I guess I'm asking is it the board's position that that is the only kind of mediation that would be acceptable?
No, Ms. Taylor, what we're asking is if the parties would like 5 minutes now to
Okay.
see if they can come to whatever sort of resolution to figure out an agreement to mediate. And then we can come back, and if the parties have agreed to mediate, we don't have to have a hearing or make a decision on the postponement now. We would recess the case as the case may be, or we would have the hearing tonight, potentially, if the
Okay.
postponement decision was made in that direction.
You're giving us no boundaries on what that mediation could look like. That was my concern.
You are able to discuss and see if you can make an agreement in the next 5 or 10 minutes.
Well, the boundary that we'll give you is a time. We're going to
Okay.
start a clock.
Sure.
And 10 minutes later, we need a decision. And I think that's reasonable. I think everybody understands that at least you can come up with,
Yes, but,
you know, a workable, hopefully a workable thing. But if not, then we'll take it from there. Are you in agreement, Mr. Bittner?
where are we doing
Mr. Chairman, we are anxious and desirous to get some resolution with these complainants, because we don't have complainants from the rest of the community. But I cannot recommend to my client that he participate in mediation through the dispute resolution program. I'm familiar with that program. It's an outstanding program, but it's not geared for this type of issue. You need a mediator who
Mr.
is
Bittner?
versed in the law.
Mr. Bittner, we're going to take a 5-minute recess, and the parties can discuss if there's a resolution or not, and we can come back and then proceed in that
It's going
fashion.
to be 5 or 10.
We're going to give them,
I think we can accomplish this in 5, most respectfully.
excellent. Thank you, Lee. Thank you.
Your time starts now. Lots of luck.
where are we going?
Should we go? Let me ask,
Mediation to be then appended to the license as a restriction.
So, as I understand it, Anne Arundel County does not have a memorandum of agreement procedure like Baltimore City does.
Sure.
Though, if there's an agreement reached, it would be submitted to the board, and as I understand it, by consent, the board would place that agreement as a restriction on the license.
Or in agreement. It's on. I'd say open to it. I mean, it would depend on.
I'm
what
sorry,
involves.
we didn't get to some of our questions. Like, for example, is it restricted to the 4 of us? There are other neighbors that weren't able to make it tonight that may wish to participate. I mean, we really didn't get to some of the mechanical questions.
I don't see how mediation could proceed. 4 is unwieldy. It's generally representatives of the party and their counsel. So I don't know how a 2-hour mediation could possibly be fruitful with multiple people. I think the community needs to designate its representatives to speak on their behalf.
It's my understanding that we do not have an agreement to mediate as of right now. Is that correct?
I think that, well, we're certainly in favor of doing mediation.
We were the ones who were still talking, and they backed out in preparation for this.
The discussions that you had are not relevant for us.
Okay, but I guess my point is it,
As of right now, there's been no decision to mediate. Is that correct, Mr. Bittner? There's no agreement at this time.
I thought we had one a moment
Yeah,
ago. I thought we had agreed to go to a proper mediator, retired judge, certified mediator, 2 hours, divide the cost, follow the mediation rules that are in the rules of procedure. Board isn't going to participate in the mediation. If an agreement is reached, we'll submit it to the boards for your consideration. It's off the record. Nothing can be repeated. Nothing can be said. I think it's Title 15 that deals with mediation. So whatever the court rules of mediation are that apply to everyone throughout the state, that's how we're happy to mediate.
Are you in agreement with that?
Yes.
With designees as opposed to potentially a large group.
How many designees?
That's fine, we can work that out.
Well, yeah, but I wouldn't want you to come up with, well, we come up with 6 designees that, it's probably not going to be acceptable or workable, so.
I wouldn't know, most chairman, most respect, I wouldn't know why there'd need to be more than 2.
So is the number 2?
We're going to say the number is 2.
I can
Okay
work with
with
that
two?
if
Yeah. Are you okay with
Paul
2?
and Mr. Bittner, or
Yes.
you're okay with that, Mr. Bittner? All right,
That doesn't include a lawyer if they want to get a lawyer.
Wonderful.
you're okay with that?
And the motion is to recess, is that correct?
Yes, I would suggest that the matter just be continued, recessed, so there's no need to re-advertise. No.
If it's
additional
recessed, there's
expense.
no requirement to re-advertise, is my understanding.
That's mine too. Is that
Would-
correct?
That is correct.
Okay. All right.
And may this thought just came to my mind, may I suggest this, could the board potentially give us a list of maybe 3 or 5 retired judges, mediators in this area? And then we make a blind selection, we rank them. I don't know if you've ever done this before.
Where you pick 5 and then you pick 3 and they pick 3 and
The one that
Overlaps.
matches. And that way, I think we could have an independent mediator.
I think that there's probably a judicial body that can provide a list of 5. I don't think that the board would need to be more actively involved in having an
Yeah.
independent third party
I would
provide that
prefer the
list.
board not.
Okay,
All
fine.
right, but we can surely reach out to the judicial system and see what they have and how that works, and is that agreeable?
Yes.
Mr. Bittner, you got somebody in the back raising their hand.
Well, why don't you ask me first?
While they do that, may we turn in our hard copy?
There's no need to present exhibits or evidence today if we're going to be mediating or postponing.
Okay, these are the submitted written statements, and so this would be the hard copy that goes with the written statements you were provided via email.
Just, if I may just pause for a
hold
moment,
on.
because Mr. Bittner's.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ms. Taylor, you indicated that you'd like to have those documents submitted. I think we have copies of those documents, and they've already been submitted to the board. I think Mr. Bittner has received copies of those letters.
Well, we have, so a continuance would obviate my objection on timeliness.
There's no need for the documents to be entered into evidence because there's no hearing to be before the board at this moment. At this time, I believe there's a request to recess from both parties, and the board needs to vote on that
Yeah,
request.
and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a motion. We do recess for the purpose that we just talked about. Looking for a second for that recess.
I second the motion.
I have an all in favor?
Aye.
The
Aye.
recess.
Yep.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, when will this be recalendared? Might we have December? May I suggest
If I
December?
may step in just on that, sometimes these things take a little longer. We'd certainly love to have it back in November, but I think that's going to be up to the parties. I know that sometimes these things take longer than 4 weeks. Given the holidays, it could be very snug. I would anticipate this would come before the board in December, but we'll wait for the parties to inform us.
Board's calendar, bear with us.
December 9th would be the likely date. Again, if there was an indication that it had to be, that things weren't progressing at all in the next 2 weeks.
Okay. Consider yourself recessed and hopefully come to a conclusion. Thank you. This is the end of the hearing for today, October 14th, 2025. Good night, everybody.